Firstly, do want to apologize for missing last week's members live on Thursday. We did have a death in the family, and so I got news of the death early morning on Thursday, and so I really wasn't in any emotional state to do any type of readings or any type of channelings. I'm feeling back to myself. Before jumping into the live, there's some energies I want to talk about, but I do want to quickly mention that there will be no members live again next Thursday, as I will be out of town for the family funeral from the death in the family last week. And so I'm hoping that my energy levels work out to be able to compensate and go live next weekend on the Saturday, but I don't want to make any guarantees. I don't want to make any promises if I can't guarantee to keep them. We got some big energies playing out in the astrology. I just brought the laptop down and I took a quick look at the current transits playing out, and what I noticed was a grand water trine happening. I think the refresh button I hit was at like 11:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I look at this current astrology, we've got a grand water trine between Cancer, Mars and Cancer. Hello, Zandra. Welcome in. There's a grand water trine right now. We've got Mars and Cancer in a trine to the vertex in Scorpio. The vertex is a temporary transit. The vertex kind of switches signs every 2 hours, similarly to the ascendant, and we've got these energies in a trine to the sun in Pisces, which is currently at 16 degrees 21. Can we scream tower world energies any louder? And so when we think of the vertex, I want to talk about this. Hello, Victoria, because right now, with all of these energies kind of combined and alchemizing, we've got a major opportunity here, I feel, to have these massive emotional breakthroughs. Hello, Tanya, welcome in. And these are going to be destined breakthroughs. I am a very strong believer in not following mainstream media, but for some reason it was all over my YouTube feed this morning with everything that went down in the collective connected to politics and mainstream media yesterday. And I gotta say, I kind of fell into that fear-based energy. I had to quickly snap myself out of it. But with this Venus retrograde in Aries, Mercury about to go retrograde in Aries just after the full moon eclipse in Virgo, these energies are loud, right? We're in this portal of deep healing, and we've got all of these other energies kind of supporting it when it comes to our heightened spiritual connection to our own path, to our own guides. And so I just feel right now there's a lot of downloads. There's a lot of navigating through the closing of these karmic cycles. And we got to remember sometimes it gets really bad before we have that breakthrough, before things get better. And so, in lieu of the book of the month, I did pull the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. We're going to start off by grabbing a card from the Divine Oracle deck. Then I also grabbed the Mythic Tarot. We're going to stick to the themes of mythology. If you didn't see the Divine Feminine reading that I posted earlier today on the channel, go check it out. There was some pretty significant messages talking about the journey into the underworld and kind of coming out reborn. And then we're going to close off with a message with my new deck, the classic mythology oracle deck. And so I had a trip to Windsor earlier this week and I hit up Indigo, and oh my god, I could have spent a whole day in that bookstore. I'm a huge fan of books, but I grabbed a bunch of stuff that was on clearance, and that was one of the decks on clearance. But we're going to stick to the regular theme. We're going to start by pulling into the Aries collective. We're going to close off with Pisces. As you see, I'm kind of doing a little bit different. I want one card from each deck, and we're going to go from there. I actually also did, oh, I don't have it readily available. Almost knocked my tea down. I grabbed the book. I'm not super familiar with all of the goddess energies in the Divine Feminine Oracle book. So we're going to pull an oracle card. We're going to read into the book when it comes to the Divine Feminine energy. We're going to ask the cards, well, what is this connected to with the tarot? And then we're going to connect it to a mythology message as a closing message. So let's jump right in. I've given everybody time to get into the chat, and so I guess this is it for this Thursday, but we'll get a message for Aries. And I cannot even pronounce that. Mashig Labdron, Mashig Labdron, the diamond-hearted Dakini. Aries, this is the divine feminine message for you. So I do feel this really is connected to the Venus retrograde. This is kind of what we need to work through. You can apply this to Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, your North Node. You can apply these messages to every single house in your birth chart if you choose to. But this card is speaking of seeing the light in your own darkness. Oh my God, does it get any more appropriate for the current energies? This is an energy for you, Aries, of facing your ego beliefs so you can finally feel free. So let's go a little bit further. Like I said, we're going to read into the book. And that's why I put my glasses on today. And let's see the message in the book. So it's on page 135. No, that's not it. Maybe I went to the wrong page. Yeah, I must have read the wrong book. So bear with me, guys. Oh, 125. See, I should have put my stronger glasses on today. I probably need to go get my eyes checked again. Okay, so who is she? Who is this divine feminine goddess, Aries? She takes on the dark and she transmutes it into only more light. And so that's probably what you're going through this Venus retrograde. This divine feminine was incarnated basically like the female Buddha. She's the representation of a female Buddha. And so her mother had an auspicious dream right before she gave birth. And the 7 dakinis poured water over her body, blessed her, purifying her, and prophetically relating that this little baby girl would also be a Dakini. And so Mashig, as a young woman, she practiced Heart Sutra energies. And so she's got a lot of beloved wisdom here. And so I feel this really is connected to the number 99. So look out for syncs connected to 99999. When I think of the number 9, Aries, this is the energy of completing a cycle, closing out a cycle. And so where have you been repressing your gifts? Because I do think this Venus retrograde is really bringing your shadow into conscious light. And you are going to come out the other side of this Venus retrograde with the perspective of the enlightened feminine. And so we kind of have to integrate our God qualities, our demon qualities, so to speak. We've all got a shadow and a light side. And so I do think there might be some pain that you're going to need to work through this Venus retrograde. But this is also teaching you patience, right? When we go through painful cycles, it brings forward our gifts. So what has been distracting you from your spiritual path? I think you really need to sit and ask yourself, what has been distracting me from my spiritual path? Because ultimately nobody has the power to derail you from your path unless you let them, right? And so there's a power within you, I think, and this is activating your spiritual path during this retrograde, but you're going to have to get really intimate with your shadow self. You're going to have to go into the darkness within, and really the darkness within really isn't dark. It's just the unowned parts of ourselves, or where we feel threatened because we kind of got to face something maybe we've not wanted to face. And so get used to the darkness here, because I do feel there is some type of ego belief that you are ready to release within you. So you'll know what that is for yourself. Okay, so let's see what the Mythic Tarot card is for that. We get the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles for me is a decision, right? And so you might be presented with a path. You might be presented with a choice between two paths. But this is about saying it's really time to lay down the groundwork to do the work. You see the table with all of the tools. And I want to say you have all of the tools to cut through illusions, Aries. And the Two of Pentacles for me is an energy of realignment. In a normal tarot deck, usually the Two of Pentacles is being held above somebody's head with the infinity loop around it. And so where have you been going round and round and round in an infinite cycle with somebody, and you're being asked to break the chains? And so maybe you've been looping back and forth for the last couple of years, especially if you have prominent Aries or Libra energy even, or if you are an Aries North Node, we're going to be closing out the energies of that Aries North Node at the end of March when we've got that Aries new moon solar eclipse on, I think it's the 29th. Pretty sure it's the 29th. And so get ready for things to be leaving your life so you can actually embrace all of the tools that you have to go into the darkness, to release a false ego belief, to come out the other side enlightened. So, what is the mythic message? Oh my goodness, this actually came through in the Divine Feminine reading that I posted earlier today, Gorgon's Reflection. And so, this is connected to Medusa. And so there is, I feel this energy of defeat, but actually it's leading you to victory. It's leading you to triumph. And so what is being reflected back to you? Because I do feel there's a lot of reflection, and I do always connect the mirror reflection to twin soul, twin flame, but it's so much bigger than just you and another person. Because everything in our life, everything in our physical reality serves as a mirror reflection to do the work. And so maybe you're going to have to be the bad guy when it comes to cutting something out. But I also want to say you're recognizing the snakes in your life that kind of need to be left behind. And so you're going to have victory, but I think you're kind of going into the shadows, into the darkness to get to the other side of all of these challenges. Okay. And that's what I've got for Aries. We're going to move on to Taurus next. White buffalo calf woman. Okay, like that is so connected to Taurus. I know you're a bull, but buffalo is pretty similar energy, I would say. And so are you ready to hear what's on the card, Taurus? It says the prophetess of the sacred way. I can't even make that up. It says my heart is a compass. And so this is a journey, a 40-day journey into the heart. And what does the heart want, Taurus? What do you really want? Because the path of love is true abundance. So where do you need to release a false belief connected to not being worthy? I do feel the white buffalo too for me is saying some type of purification is going on, definitely connected to this retrograde energy. And the white buffalo calf woman is on page 154. I'm pretty sure I got it right this time. Okay, 154. So the white buffalo calf woman represents the sacred vision that gives us hope that all will be provided for us. And I know I've been struggling with that as a Taurus, and I had to remind myself money comes and money goes, and that is just the flow of life. And so trust that you are abundant. Trust that spirit will always provide for you, whether it's food, whether it's money to pay your bills, and be thankful for spirit providing for you. And so this card I feel for you, Taurus, is a sacred reminder that we don't have to struggle, right? I think a lot of us Tauruses, because we're an earth sign, we do feel like sometimes we have to struggle through situations in life, but you have everything that you need to create what it is that you desire. So are you creating through the heart? Because when we kind of link the head to the heart, and we take heart-centered action, we are always going to be supported in the most divine, sacred way. So white buffalo calf woman is an omen of hope that all will be provided for us when we approach each and every situation with love. So what this card wants you to know is it's really time to focus your intention behind an action, because that's going to change the outcome, right? And so when we take action authentically towards what we're passionate about, we have to trust that we will receive whatever is needed from source. We don't have to manipulate, we don't have to bargain, we don't have to beg with the universe. And so prayer and right action is what is being asked of you, Taurus. And so right now it's about creating through love, creating through authenticity. And it's not just about yourself, right? It is bigger than yourself. It is a collective mission. It is a community mission, and divine needs will be met. Okay, so what is the tarot card for Taurus? Can we scream creation? The Queen of Wands. It's time to step into your rightful place within society. The Queen of Wands is a visionary leader. I do think you are harnessing your inner lioness energy. If you see on the card, we get the lion energy on either side. And we do have a lion here with a chain around the lion. And so break the chains of some type of pattern too. You are here to be the torch bearer. You are here to shine the light. And you are here to bring forward your prophetic visions to the collective. So go forth, have that strength, have that tenacity to bring forward your vision for what you want in your life. This is all about creation. So what is the mythic card for Taurus? Medea. Betrayal, infidelity, and vengeance. And so maybe this is the shadow self that you need to release, because let's face it, we all get hurt, we all get betrayed at a certain point in life. Maybe there was infidelity connected to your journey as a divine feminine, whether there was infidelity on your part or on somebody else's part. But vengeance is God's to seek. It's not ours to seek, right? And I know that energy of wanting to seek to create that balance and to go through all of those negative emotions of jealousy, envy, anger. Sacred rage really does have a sacred purpose as a divine feminine. But release, forgive, and rise above any betrayal or infidelity, I think, is a strong message for you. And open up the heart. The heart is the gateway receptor. And so, where do you need to offer forgiveness, either to yourself or another, in order to open up the pathway of more abundance in your life? So, ask yourself that. Okay, Gemini. Gemini, Sacred Devi, the Divine Mother. Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. I can't help it, Sandra. We are definitely connected. That is exactly, I think, what most of the Tauruses out there needed to hear. I'm super happy that it resonated with you. I just picked the cards. I'm the messenger. I'm just doing my job here. So spirit blowing your mind. I'm just the messenger. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Unconditional love exists within you. I just got chills down both sides of my face as I said that. And so how can you release judgment? Release judgment of self, release judgment of others. When we criticize or judge another, that actually is a mirror reflection of an unhealed wound within ourselves. So keep that in mind. We're going to go further in with the book here, and we're going to see what this goddess energy has in store for Gemini. 92. Okay. She's a guru. We're going to say that. She's a guru. So this card was selected for you. And so Sarah Devi loved all of her disciples. That's interesting. I was talking about disciples and followers the other day. I kind of had a little bit of a breakdown last week, I got to say, Gemini, where I got back into the swing of doing Zodiacs. I was like, oh my goodness, I only got so many views on a video. And then I had to remind myself, Jesus only had 12 followers. And so it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality, right? And so, Victoria, yes, you have Gemini in your chart. This is about being a teacher of the teacher, right? And so I do feel, Gemini, you are encouraged to devote a higher understanding to your path right now, that everyone and everything that we meet is actually a part of us. Nothing is actually separate. And so Gemini, being an air sign, is very logical. It's the complete opposite of Sagittarius, where Sagittarius believes without having that proof. And oftentimes Gemini has to see that proof in order to be a true believer. But if you want to experience true peace, Gemini, you need to own faults and judgments that you project onto others as your own as well, right? And so when we see our own faults in that mirror reflection of what we're seeing in another, then we can forgive everyone with love, including ourselves. And so I feel this Venus retrograde really is asking you to cultivate forgiveness. What does the universe keep showing you as a mirror reflection in the people that you meet? And how can you take this within and understand that the other is an aspect of self as well? That sounds pretty freaking deep. So what are you currently judging? What are you currently criticizing about yourself? And release that with love. So the goal is actually to mother ourselves with unconditional love, right? Oftentimes we have a deep-seated mother and father wound. It doesn't matter how wonderful our parents were or are. The only love that will ever quiet harsh criticism of self is the love we hold within us. And so, quiet that inner critic. Stop wasting your time on judgment of yourself or judgment of others, and just get on with being the perfectly imperfect human being that you are. Okay. So, what is the tarot card for Gemini? The Magician. And that is a Gemini card. Like, I got goosebumps head to toe. So you are definitely at a crossroads, Gemini, right? And you think a Gemini is the energy of the twins. And so we see two different paths here. I don't think any path is wrong, but you have to make a choice, right? You see the Magician here, usually on a normal magician card, and this is the mythic deck. There's once again the infinity symbol above the magician's head with all of the tools above the magician's head. And these are all on the table. And so there's this energy of taking grounded action. You get to decide which path you want to take. You have the power. If you notice too on this magician card, this is the symbol of health, right? We see the two snakes kind of intertwining. And so I do feel keeping your chakra pathways clear, clearing the path and trusting that you have all of the tools. And so I think you're in a major shedding. So allow what needs to be shed to die away during this retrograde and get ready to make a decision when it comes to a path after the retrograde, and trust that you are a conscious co-creator in your own journey. Okay. So the last message for Gemini is Aries. And so I just feel it's going to take a lot of strength. It's almost like you're in a battle within your headspace. Aries is the god of war, and we've got Venus retrograde in Aries, and I've been saying it for a while. We've got a lot of Aries energy coming in 2025. We got Neptune going into Aries the end of the month. We got that full moon eclipse. And so get ready by that eclipse in Aries at the end of the month to maybe confront and release all of these inner conflicts. And so right now, I just think you're confronting your shadow self, and it's taking a lot of strength. And so it's almost like you're in a war zone inside, and that might be reflected externally. It was 22:22 on the timer when I said that, but it doesn't have to be a battle. Life doesn't have to be a battle. Okay. All right. Cancer. Cancer is up next. So what do we got for Cancer? This one kind of feels right. If I can get it kind of snuck under there. The goddess of never not broken. Is that really what's going on? Wow. I love how Spirit always brings forward exactly what everybody needs to hear. It never ceases to amaze me, Victoria. So I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this goddess's name, Cancer, but look at the fiery light energy all around the crown chakra. I feel enlightenment. And it says the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. So let's go into the book. If I were to try to pronounce that, I would think it would be Akalanda, maybe. I don't know. I'm not even going to say that I know how to pronounce that. It's actually on page 96. How appropriate. Because if you think of the balancing of the yin and yang, it would be 69, which is the energy of Cancer. Can't even make that up. And 96, it's like coming undone. To put yourself back together is kind of how I would interpret that energy. So this card is showing you where your energy is trapped. Maybe where you have been stifled in a routine, or even just others' expectations. Okay. So this is whispering. This Venus retrograde is asking you to liberate yourself, to allow a new experience of yourself to come blazing through. So I feel this retrograde is bringing you forward on your enlightenment journey. There's going to be an opportunity, Cancer, to become more light, to become a more radiant soul that you came here to be. And so what heartbreak can you see now as an opportunity to expand? And it might just be heartbreak for humanity. I'll never forget the heartbreak I felt when I came into all of this truth, when I came into my awakening and I saw beyond the third dimensional reality and matrix. And it was a tremendous heartbreak, to say the least. And so, so you never really are broken. Sometimes we got to fall apart, like I said, to put ourselves back together. But it is through our heartbreak that we change the world. And so I think right now you feel like maybe you're at a crossroads for a choice, a decision, and maybe you're tired of the ordinary life, and maybe your illusions are being shattered at a deeper layer during this Venus retrograde. But I feel it's time for you to become that powerful goddess, Cancer. It's really time for you to expose maybe what you've been afraid of exposing. Exposure wants to come through. So look at everything during this retrograde, Cancer, as an opportunity to release what isn't serving you. You know that being broken isn't a failure. It's something that we can't avoid. It's actually the whole point of the awakening journey is to break ourselves wide open. So you are here to share ideas. You are here to allow the old self, I want to say, to go up in flames. And so we are going to rise from the ashes, Cancer. You're being called to rise from the ashes. And so remember, that the heart never truly breaks. It's the ego, right? It's the ego that breaks, not the heart. The heart only ever expands. And so I think you're going through a heart expansion during this Venus retrograde. So what is the tarot that we need to pair? The Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is like, man, maybe it's time to sit at that table and start up a discussion. That's what I feel. It's time to have that discussion. There's three women on the card. They all kind of look a little bit perturbed, a little bit upset there. Hello, Regine. Welcome in. Hello, everyone. That's okay. That's okay that you're late, but you're still here. It's all good. We are on Cancer right now, so you didn't miss very much. Cancer, the Four of Cups to me is really highlighting a very stuck energy, or for me, it is the energy of soul suppression. And so maybe it's time to gather a group of women to overcome this suppression within society. Maybe it's time to start up a group, is what I feel for you, Cancer. So what is the Greek, what's the Greek mythology card? I'm having a hard time today. We get Hypnos. It's actually a 27 card. So I do feel an Ace of Wands coming through for you, Cancer. It says dreams, sleep, rest, astral self. So pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to what comes through in meditation, because I do think this retrograde is asking you to rest. And with Aries, Venus retrograde in Aries, at some point in time, it's going to square up that cardinal Cancer energy, right? And so this is a time to rest. I think you're kind of boxed into this resting period, right? 4, 2. I feel when I think of fours, there's 4 sides to a square. So you might be boxed in right now in order to rest, rejuvenate, reassess, because on the other side of this retrograde, you're coming through with new creative ideas and a brand new beginning to start a new path. And maybe it is with a group of women or 2 other women. Okay, Cancer? All right, Leo. Leo is up next. What do we got for Leo? I'm pretty sure I didn't miss anybody. If I skipped a sign, let me know, please, down below. But Leo, we get Queen Esther, the morning star. How appropriate, because Venus is going to become the morning star when she has that Cazimi aspect, when Venus conjuncts the sun during the retrograde. And so your ego is in service of the soul, Leo. And you need to trust that your soul is going to have everything come forward in divine timing. Definitely feeling that energy as a Leo North Node. So let's go further into the book. Let's go further with this energy. Oh, there she is, 146. Oh, I went to 166. Okay, so Queen Esther is talking about the ego. The ego has a timetable that the soul couldn't care less about. Oh, am I ever resonating with that? When you're feeling stressed or threatened in some way, Leo, fear can be exceptionally loud and can inform the ego to work overtime in trying to get something accomplished or trying to manipulate something to happen. It's time to get back in the natural flow. That is what you're being asked to do, because there's things shifting, there's energies working behind the scenes, and the universe is assisting you. So don't block your blessings here. Don't block yourself. When it comes to this Venus retrograde, it will form a trine to any major Aries placements. And so, or any major Leo placements. So just trust that maybe you're stepping into being a star. That could be another message too. Maybe you're stepping into being a star. But this is about your service mission. And so your soul is dictating your service mission. Don't let the ego block your path, because this is about divine timing, right? Everything kind of happens in divine timing. We all have our own blessings divinely, for us, that nobody can take away from us. So really take this time to listen to your soul. If you are being called into service, maybe it's time to master your art, master your craft. But I do feel this is a really important message of knowing that everything will happen in divine timing. So, what do you need to let go of? Because I do think you are being realigned, and this is about finding your soul voice. So, what is the tarot message to go with Leo? Two of Swords. Where are you blocking your blessings? Where are you blocking your own path? And so it might feel a little bit blocked right now. You might feel like you're like taking two steps forward, four steps back. But I feel you kind of got to get back in the flow. The Two of Swords is saying recognize where you are unwilling to change, where you are unwilling to see things from a fresh perspective. Get ready to really face your biggest blocks, which I think is your ego during this retrograde. Okay, Leo. So, what is the mythology message? Icarus. And so overambitious, downfall, and disappointment. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. I can totally resonate with this. I've got back in the swing with the Zodiacs. I'm super ambitious, but you got to pace yourself, okay? You can't get overambitious because then you will get super disappointed if things don't work out according to what your ego says needs to work out, right? And so that will be your downfall during this retrograde. It is a 28 card. 28 in the tarot, key 28 in the tarot is the Two of Wands. And so 2-2. Something about that 2-2-2 portal back in February. Look back to February around the 2-2 portal. And maybe there's a similar theme coming up right now. But I think right now the challenge is to not overdo it. So, stay at that steady pace because retrogrades are for slowing things down. And maybe there's just a need to reevaluate your values, your beliefs around money. Okay, 22. Yeah, 22. So there is a need to trust that the path is being woven, but maybe it's not time to go full steam ahead right now because after the Two of Wands is the Three of Wands. And so there's a manifestation energy here, but it's not quite ready to be received. So trust in that. Okay, Leo. All right. Virgo. Virgo is up next. Let me just fix this little mess of cards here. Virgo. What do we got for Virgo? Rita Cassia, the patroness of impossible causes. Okay, Virgo. It says, I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibility. Look at the third eye energy. So I feel visions. I feel third eye expansion. You see the energy glowing around the heart. So heart expansion. Virgo, we do have a full moon eclipse in your sign mid-month. And so where do you need to release resistance? Virgo also likes to kind of control an outcome at time, right? Because it's a very tedious sign. It's a very structured and orderly sign. And so that kind of looks like almost like, if you can see it, to me, that looks like a bumblebee. So I want to say like queen bee energy. And so right now, I think you're channeling. Maybe it's time to step into being a grounded channel for spirit, because Virgo is the grounded energy versus the Pisces, like the grounded healer energy. So let's go into the book and see what Rita has to say. That's so funny. I have an Aunt Juanita, and we all call her Aunt Rita. Just wanted to share that. Okay. Rita. She's on page 13. That is the energy of rebirth. So that's quite interesting. So I do feel like a rebirth process here. And she is the patroness of impossible causes. Where are you suffering from martyrdom? And I have chills. Okay, there are miracles about to happen. I do feel there are miracles about to happen, but there's a situation that you can no longer remain in. And maybe it's just a situation that you're keeping yourself stuck in when it comes to work. It can be work, right? Um, but I feel, what is causing you harm right now? If you can believe anything is possible, then ultimately everything is forgivable. So, where do you need to forgive? I do think this is about freeing yourself from an old belief or from something that is out of your control. There's boundless energy around you, but you need to draw in some very firm boundaries, right? When we tap into this channeling energy, we do need firm energetic boundaries, because when we channel, we can also channel a lot of shadowy deities when we tap into the higher conscious collective energies, right? And so there is a situation here where I feel there's distance, and you are being kept at a distance right now as you go through a transformation process. So, love is greater than any other force in the universe, Virgo, and you alone hold a lot of love here. And so, you are being offered a new life. And I do feel these eclipses are kind of clearing the path and showing you what it is that you truly want for yourself. So ask yourself, what do you truly want for yourself? You are on a path that I feel is bringing forward a desire, but there's a belief, a limiting belief that has kept you stuck here. So pray, hone in on trust, hone in on your belief in a higher power, because what you desire most is going to arrive. So, what is it that you believe? Do you believe that it's possible, or do you not believe in it? Because you've got to kind of believe, right? You got to believe. So, what is the tarot card for Virgo? I grabbed two. I'm going to take them. You got to believe. The Wheel of Fortune to the Ten of Pentacles. This is legacy. This is family. This is legacy. I am shivering cold right now. And so this is going to be connected to fate. I do feel there's going to be a fated shift around that full moon eclipse in Virgo. And so, are you ready to move forward? Because it's like you're kind of still in the cave energy and it's time to go back into the light. And so, what kind of legacy do you want to leave for the future? And so, we see on this Ten of Pentacles, we see this beautiful family. There's a couple of kids, there's a baby, there's the husband, there's the wife, and we get five pentacles on either side. And so, to get to that Ten of Pentacles, there has to be equal investment from both people, right? There has to be an equal investment. And so right now, I think a lot of things are out of your control, and you're going to have to let the wheels of fate move you forward, and you got to trust that you are working towards building a legacy. And so there could be a miracle, there could be a blessing around the corner. So what is the mythology message? Aphrodite, she's unconditional love. So I feel the energy of the lovers, star-crossed lovers here is what I want to say. Star-crossed lovers, love, passion, desire, and romance. Aphrodite is the representation of unconditional love. They're showing me the lover's card. And so you have to hold firm. You have to trust that you hold this energy of unconditional love within you, and that love is coming towards you. I think passion, romance. So get ready for that. And this is going to be a fated, destined connection. So release those limiting blocks, okay? What comes after Virgo? Libra. Libra is next. Okay, Libra. Green Terra. I love the Green Terra card. You're going to faint. Don't faint, Zandra. Let me know you're staying with us here. Don't faint. The Green Terra. She is the Buddha of enlightened action. Libra, the Buddha of enlightened action. My soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. Okay, so I just gonna go a little bit off topic here. I watched that movie with Savannah, Wicked, and there's a lot of mixed reviews about that movie. First of all, I'm a huge fan of musicals. I'm a big Disney fan. And the story behind that movie, I don't want to spoil it. But man, what we were shown as kids growing up connected to the Wicked Witch, everything is deceiving, right? And so there's always two sides to a story. There's always two sides. And so I think when I see the color green, I think heart chakra, I think abundance, right? And so you are being informed of the next step that you need to take. And it looks like she's kind of standing in front of a full moon. Okay, Libra. And so do what your heart compels you to do. Let's go into the book for this. And well, I wanted to say green tea. I'm actually drinking a green tea right now, but Green Terra. And we'll read into the green tarot card. And she's on page 113. Like, geez, the sinks are so loud today. Okay. She's on page 113. There we go. So this is the emboldened energy of overcoming fear, and it allows you to take action on what you know is right. So don't be afraid to take action. Don't be afraid to go after your dreams. This is the energy of liberation. She is the mother of liberation. And so you are on a sacred pilgrimage, is what I want to say. It's time to get moving. She's here to sacredly nudge you to get moving on a project, whatever your soul is compelling you to do. Don't sit on that idea. Don't gatekeep. Don't waste time over planning a project any longer. It's time to take action. It's time. Libra, you are the classic sign of indecision. Well, maybe if I did a little bit of this more, maybe if I waited for this, just take action. Just say, yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to overthink it. Keep going after what it is that you're here to create. And so something is coming into your awareness through the heart chakra. And so this is a message of taking action. And I know I'm being a little bit paradoxical here because of the retrograde energies, but there's nothing to wait for, really. Retrogrades really are a period of reassessing. It doesn't mean everything has to come to a dead stop. And so take action now. There's nothing to wait for. There's no person that you need to become before doing what it is that you came here to be and do. Start small. Let the soul lead you, not the ego. It's the ego that I think is keeping you stuck. It doesn't have to be a grand effort, but it's time for you to get moving on a specific outcome here. And so there, it further goes to say there are many injustices in the world. There is so much suffering that it's easy to get stuck in the molasses of helplessness. And I think that's why I was urged to talk about the political stuff that's going on, because it's so easy to get stuck in the suffering and the pain of the world and the politics of the world right now. But take a step back. You're here to be diplomatic, right? You are a sign of diplomacy. And so take whatever is moving you to tears and turn it into action. Okay, this is pushing you to do something, anything that can alleviate the suffering of the world and the suffering of others. And so you're in a process of taking action with love and from love, and this too will liberate yourself. So what does your soul want you to take action on right now? Do not delay. Chills. Okay, Libra, chills. I can't even. Ace of Pentacles, take action right now. Do not delay. This is a golden opportunity to build a lot of abundance. The Ace of Pentacles could also be receiving help from the divine. It can be a windfall. It can be an inheritance. Go buy a lottery ticket. I know I do consistently play the lottery because you just never know. But you can't be swimming in these waters of heaviness. There's a lot of suffering in the world. There is. And it's very painful to recognize it, to feel it, and then to go in and heal that. But use the suffering of the world to bring you towards this new goal, this new opportunity, because the Ace of Pentacles can turn into the Ten of Pentacles. And so there's a big seed here you're being asked to plant to go forward. So Eros, love struck, infatuation, heart sore. It's a 9 card. So there's almost a hermit quality. I want to say Virgo. Eros is, he comes in and strikes you like Cupid, right? And so, there might be some heart pain here, right? It says heart sore. It doesn't have to be connected to romance, but the energy of 9 is the energy of completion. It's the energy of the hermit. And so there's a need to shine a light within. The hermit is actually a very wise spiritual teacher. So you've got something to teach, you've got something to share, and it can turn into a lot of abundance for you. So don't delay, okay? All right, we're going to move on to Scorpio next. Scorpio, we get Pope Joan, the pontiff of possibilities. The possibilities are limitless. Scorpio. Yes, 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 Sandra. Those, I know, those big 3 definitely were messages that you needed to hear today. Okay, Scorpio, the possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. You're fixed water. It doesn't get any deeper than that. So let's read into Pope Joan. she's a 40 card, so she's on page 40. So there's like a page of cups energy coming through, and I just feel like a new beginning here. So what is helping you remember that all things are still possible for you, right? All things are possible at any given point. And so Scorpio, it speaks of getting caught beneath the glass ceiling. Shatter the glass ceiling. Break through the limitations that you put on yourself, because the truth is everything is possible. Everything is possible. The universe is limitless. There's more than enough to go around. So imagine how much the divine wants for your life, much more than you could ever hope or imagine, and go after it. What we think we want isn't possible at times, and then it creates that glass ceiling, it creates that false belief. And you got to trust that what the soul wants for you will give you more than you can even think to ask for. That's pretty freaking deep. So Pope Joan is assigned to trust in what you believe about yourself. What is it that you believe about yourself? Maybe it's time to shift that belief. Trust what's within you. Know that the circumstances you are currently facing are going to be transformed from within. Everything is an inside job, and then everything externally shifts when we transform internally. So what beliefs do you need to release in order to bring an unlimited vision of your life forward? Imagine with all of your senses that you can live whatever life you want to live in this existence, that reality can surround you when you release your limitations. So this card, I feel, is saying, remember, it's the ego, your human ego, that creates the limitations. When we live behind that glass ceiling, the ego likes us there, right? So the soul is saying you can break through that glass ceiling. It's almost like breaking through the firmament, I want to say. Ascension, right? Ultimately getting up to that 12th chakra of ascension. And so that is where the soul knows that everything is possible for you. And so this is a reminder that all things are possible. So what is the tarot message for Scorpio? The Fool. All you got to do is believe. You got to take that leap of faith. There is a brand new cycle here beginning for you. And I do believe it is happening with this Aries energy playing out. Aries season is going to bring you a brand new beginning. You have to trust that whatever challenges you're facing, you're going to get through this. There's a new day dawning with the Fool card, right? And so I think this is definitely connected to the eclipse, to that solar eclipse in Aries. Get ready to take a leap of faith here. You're at that 0 point. You're at a major clearing, okay? And we get, well, I'm gonna call it Nike. We get the Nike card. It's a 21 card, which is the energy of the world. Victory, action, excellence. So get ready to close out a cycle. This is a period of enlightenment, growth, spiritual achievement. So keep taking action towards the vision that you want for your life, and trust that you're coming into a lot of abundance, is what I want to say. Like, it's limitless here. So shatter those beliefs, shatter through that glass ceiling, and don't worry about what people are saying, right? A lot of people want to throw stones at glass houses and don't realize they live in one themselves. So let go of any beliefs that keep you stuck, connected to other people's opinions of yourself too. Okay, Scorpio? All right. After Scorpio, we get Sagittarius. What do we get for my Saggies? We get the essence of all Buddhas. So Vajra Yogini. I'm not sure if I said that right, but it is what it is. The essence of all Buddhas. I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. All right, Sag, let's see what the book has to say for that one. Page 117. I always like to throw those numbers out there just in case they resonate with some of the syncs that you've been seeing. But you are going through a transformation to connect to your higher spiritual path. So I just feel right now you're probably sifting through a lot of illusions. And no matter what has happened recently or in the past, Sagittarius, this card is reminding you that you possess wisdom, and you can transmute any pain or suffering into lessons that can free you from the past to bring you into a deeper state of joy, right? We all came here to learn lessons. And so I think this is a major wake-up call. If you have fallen um, deep into the darkness, deep into an old story that you tell yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. I do want to say that. Nobody really comes to save us, although I think many times people save us and they don't realize that, right? Just a smile from a stranger oftentimes does more good than we realize. But you are being asked to take this moment right now and turn it into sacredness. Everything is sacred, even the darkness. And so this energy feels sharp. It feels intense, Sagittarius, and you can no longer compromise your worth and your value. I do feel this goddess energy wants you to sever all the ties to your ego's relationship, whether this is a person or an event that happened in your life. You, I feel, are coming into third eye activation, and this wisdom is going to allow you to perceive your spiritual path with deeper truths. So, this is connected to the red female Buddha. We all have this power in ourselves in every single moment. And so if there's an annoyance, if there's an unfortunate thing or occurrence that has happened, this is for your own enlightenment. And sometimes we have to be darkened so we can be enlightened, right, Sagittarius? And so this is a reminder that everything is rich material for you to use to elevate your reality as an embodied soul. So can you see the lesson in the chaos? Okay, all right. Hanged Man, can you see the lesson in the chaos? This is Christ consciousness. I always feel the energy of Christ consciousness on this card. The picture on the card reminds me of Jesus Christ, only he's upside down, kind of like he's on the cross. And you see, I'm going to call it an eagle. Looks like an eagle. And so the story of the eagle, and I don't know it verbatim, word for word, but the eagle, after about 40 years, has to go through a transformation if it wants to live another 40 years. And so I feel you're in this portal of transformation. Sagittarius, the Hanged Man is about gaining a new perspective. It can be an energy of stuckness. It's definitely connected to Pisces. So look to where you have Pisces in your chart. But I feel you are being asked to go through this endarkenment to come out the other side enlightened. And so maybe this transformation process will reach some type of pivot point as we close out Pisces season. But there's a lot of energies that are moving into Aries and dipping back into Pisces. And all of this, I feel, is to give you that new higher perspective. So what is the mythology card? Echo. What I just heard is an echo of a cycle. So what is echoing in your life right now that is connected to a past cycle? And so the echo card, it's a 35 card. So there is this energy of the 9 of Wands coming through like the wounded healer. The card says pining, disappearing, the vanishing self. You can't hide in the shadows, Sagittarius. You are certainly not one to hide in the shadows. But there is a need to recognize the echo of a past pattern or a past pain to gain that new perspective, to come out the other side more authentic, more grounded. Maybe right now you just want to disappear from the world. But it's really time to strip away everything that isn't serving your path. Okay, Sagittarius? Capricorn is up next. I heard some pitter-pattering feet come downstairs, but she's not made an appearance yet. We get Rabia, the queen of saintly women for you, Capricorn. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Okay. And so we're all in service. She's holding the torch. So I don't know if you're like the torch bearer, if somebody's kind of passed you the baton and it's time to kind of transcend some type of familial pattern is what I want to say there. But let's see what needs to come through the book. It's a 52 card. So Queen of Swords is 52 card. It's a page 52, which to me is Queen of Swords energy. So there's like a double-edged sword. I heard indoctrination. So where are you coming out of some type of indoctrination connected to like a pattern within the family? And it actually says, I carry a torch in one hand and a bucket of water in another. And isn't that the path of awakening? Before we awaken, we fetch water and we carry water, right? And then after we do the same. And so you are being called to set fire and to put out the fires. So very interesting, to set fire and to put out the fires. Are your current actions motivated by love, or are they motivated by negative emotions? Because Rabia embodied a freedom that divine love offers us all. So there's a metaphor here about the soul's progression for you, Capricorn. um, from slavery to sainthood. You are being called to devote yourself to your spiritual path, to spirituality, to God, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever you want to call it. And so every action you take should be motivated by love and by a higher power, Capricorn. And so this is what is being asked of you. I think you're coming into some great spiritual gifts. I want to say self actualization, self realization. This can be a very difficult process to love without expectations, but it is a very profound spiritual practice that I think we all need to embody. Divine love is unconditional. It's a love that seeks only to love, no hidden agenda, no strings attached. And so pray. It's like this energy, I want to say, of bringing yourself to the altar. Yeah, it's like you're arriving at the altar within you during this retrograde so you can free yourself and then begin to free others. So I think you are here to remember that we are here to love just for the sake of loving. And that is a very divine, sacred act that we can all embody. Knight of Pentacles. Planting those seeds. I heard planting those seeds. And so Virgo energy, it's time to plant those seeds around that full moon eclipse, Capricorn, to be that torchbearer, to set anything false on fire, and then to also put out the fire in people's lives that maybe are going through a lot of chaos. The Knight of Pentacles is loyal, dedicated, solid. So it's really time to dedicate your life to the spiritual path, to the path of service, right? So we get Hera. She came through in the Divine Feminine reading that I posted earlier today. It's time for you to step into that alpha female energy. It's time to be a leader. It's time to lead. It's time to grow from the heart. It's time to show that compassion, that nurturing energy in the collective through your purpose. And so I don't think it could get any louder than that. It's a 3 card, which is Empress energy. It's time to step into the divine feminine embodiment. And so plant those seeds around that full moon. And when these retrogrades are over, I do feel you are stepping into being an alpha female, a leader. Okay, Capricorn? All right, we get Aquarius up next. Aquarius, what do we got for Aquarius? It was a little bit sticky, Aquarius. Oh my God. We get Kali, the great destroyer. The great destroyer, the mother of the universe. Kali seeks to destroy everything and release everything that isn't serving you. So this is pretty loud. We do have Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto is here to transform and eliminate. And so we all got Pluto in Aquarius transiting through a certain part in our chart too. It's time to be the truth of who you are. So where are you hiding your authenticity, Aquarius? I heard off with their heads. And so there could be this energy of being disillusioned, right? When I think of off with their heads, it is an energy of disillusionment. You see all of the skulls around her neck. And so I do feel a very transformative death energy around you, a rebirth energy. And so what isn't serving you? Because I do feel the universe will bring that tower in to get you to release what isn't serving you if you're unwilling to let things go. And so she's on page 64. And I'm trying to think what key 64 is off the top of my head. 10 of Swords. They're showing me the 10 of Swords. So there could be a very painful ending here. There could be some type of betrayal coming to light, Aquarius. That doesn't have to be for everybody, but I think this is like the ultimate wake-up call. This Venus retrograde, Kali, is like the ultimate wake-up call to get you aligned as soon as possible with what you came here to do. So I feel avoidance of a mission or avoidance of a spiritual path. And so Kali can bring things to life, or she can bring things to an end. She actually embodies both. She's actually a great protector for the collective. She's a divine protectress, right? She's a divine mother. She helps us cut through illusions, and she does grant us the reality that the soul came here to manifest. And so Callie comes in and it's not subtle. It comes in like a sledgehammer. And so Callie is here to show up on your path, Aquarius, to strip you of everything that is a block to your path. And it sounds good in theory, right? But when that tower comes in and takes it all away, it can feel as if the world was shaken to our core right beneath our very feet, right? And so there's illusions being shattered, maybe about yourself or another person, or even about what you think you're capable of. And so I want to say, everybody pay attention, look to the house of Aquarius in your chart, because Callie is sweeping in here to dissolve anything that's not aligned with your path, right? And so I feel right now there could be an event that you might feel is happening to you rather for you. Shift the mindset. I know when I go through my tower moments, it takes a lot of self-reflection to understand, well, this was for me. I'm not being punished. But sometimes it feels like we're being punished. But Callie comes in to say, hey, you're wasting your sacred time and energy on someone that you're not here to be, or on a relationship that you're not meant to be in. And so Callie doesn't want us to be with a partner who doesn't treat us with respect either, and the love that we deserve. And so Callie is here to sever ties. So get ready to sever some ties, Aquarius, because the ego, I think, has kept you stuck in a cycle out of fear. So Callie wants you to get terrifyingly real with yourself, Aquarius. You are here to listen to the call of your soul, and I think you've been ignoring it. And so what is falling away from your life right now that is no longer serving you? Ask yourself that, and ultimately understand that this is the love of the universe showing you the truth of who you really are, as uncomfortable and painful as that might be, because there is a new beginning here, but you kind of got to be stripped down to the bare bones so you can fully step into who you're here to be. Pretty profound, Aquarius. Yeah, wow. The world. Well, if that doesn't scream a karmic cycle, and if you look at this world card, I love this world card. There's an alchemy of the masculine and the feminine, two souls, right, coming together, a lesson coming full circle. There is a major cycle here that needs to complete, and maybe it's been resisted. We get all of the fixed signs, right, on the world card: Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. But there's some type of soul merger here, is what I want to say for you, Aquarius. So what is the last card for Aquarius? Actaeon. Actaeon. Oh, I think you feel like you're being punished. It's a 12 card, so there is a hanged man energy attached. The card says punishment, voyeurism, curiosity, and downfall. And so what feels like a breakdown or a downfall or a punishment, it's really just to get you to shift your perspective. So maybe because you're not taking action on behalf of the soul. Maybe you're not going towards what you know in your heart of hearts you need to go towards. But this is about authenticity, right? If we see on this card, there is a naked person. It's like a monster with two heads, I want to say. I'm hearing that song. I don't remember the band's name, but I'm hearing that song. Monster with two heads. So Google those lyrics. Maybe there's a message in there for you. But yeah, I feel like a downfall for you to be able to rise as your authentic self. And that's what I've got for Aquarius. So last but not least, we're going to end it with Pisces. Lala, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. Maybe it's time to share your story, Pisces. Maybe it's time to write a book. Maybe it's time to write an actual story. I just want to say, you can't be staying up there in la la land either. You got to take grounded action. Pisces really likes to spend a lot of time in those transcended states. I know very well all about that as a Pisces rising. But whatever words are unspoken, I do feel it's time to speak that into existence. So let's see what the book has to say. Lala on page 100. So let's see what the book says. Okay, it speaks of poetry, unity in all things, entering through the door of the garden of the mind. Wow, entering through the door of the garden of the mind. This is a creator energy. This is a mystical energy. And so our words are spells, right? So what words are you speaking to yourself? What words are you speaking into existence? Because I do think you are being called to reflect on the spiritual truth of non-duality. To really become a realized grounded mystic, we do have to get to that point of no polarity, zero polarity, or non-duality. And so as above, so below, right? We are one. And so this card is reminding you that the words that you speak have the power to shift your reality or the power to continue to reinforce it. So what do you want to create? Louise Hay, the founder of Hay House, um, she said, every word you say is an affirmation. What words are you saying? So interesting. I've been really working on those affirmations lately. I feel this is a reminder that we are not separate from the soul, Pisces, and you have the power to co-create your life. So what is it that you want to co-create? This is an invitation to pay close attention to each word that you say to yourself within and the words that you say about yourself to the people that you love. You are being asked to acknowledge that every sentence you speak is a prayer. Everything you think, everything you say is a manifestation. So really take that in. I'm going to really have to sit with that. Because right now I think you are expanding your capacity to be fully present in the world. So you kind of do got to get your head out of the clouds. You do have to be more present. You do have to understand that you are here to become the author of your own reality. And yet you need to start right now. You can speak all of your desires into being. So I think the energy surrounding Pisces are really powerful right now. We got a lot of Pisces energy in the collective. I think all of the energies during the retrograde and during March are really going to change the trajectory of your life. So really focus on I am statements. Focus on I am statements and infuse your life with positive affirmations and then act on that truth that you are not separate from the divine. Pisces, you are the infinite. You are the beginning. You are the end. And so what are the most powerful words that you frequently say to yourself or about yourself? And how can you shift that mindset if they are negative affirmations? Okay, what is the tarot card for Pisces? Knight of Cups. You need to give yourself some love. You need to speak words of love to yourself, words of kindness to yourself. This is definitely about love. Love in all forms, right? The Knight of Cups can mean an offer, but I feel this really is about speaking positive affirmations to self, okay? Narcissus. So it's about releasing narcissistic tendencies. I want to say we all can portray narcissistic tendencies, and those can be tendencies of vanity, grandiosity. We can all become self absorbed, but I just feel there's a lot being reflected to you. You get to choose what it is that you want to create. Are you speaking words of love or are you speaking negatively, right? And so it is a 30 card. So I do feel a Four of Wands energy. So there could be some type of union, but the ultimate Heros Gamos union, Pisces, is the union of self, is the union of the shadow and the light body, and bringing that into that 0 point of non-polarity. So that's what I've got. That is what I've got for the collective, for all of you today. I did miss you last week. It feels good to be back. So stay tuned. I will make a post about next week. I know there were some people that weren't in the live when I talked about the energies at first, but I do have a funeral out of town next week on Thursday and Friday. I will not be here on a live next Thursday. And as long as my energy levels are up for it, I will go live next Saturday in lieu of missing the live on Thursday. But I don't want to make any promises that I can't guarantee to keep. So I'm going to play it by ear. And it was a pleasure today. So thank you all, and you're welcome for the messages, Victoria. It was my pleasure. So I hope you all have a great weekend ahead, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time.